Victrola 50, number 60,394, 1922 production. It has the second revision of the horn. As you can see, it is now more wood than metal. Still metal under here, but wood back there. Gives much better support to the back of the case. Helps prevent cracking and other things should the lid flop over. Let's see, it has the second revision motor. As you can see, the crank is now moved about an inch closer to the clasp. It used to be over here, approximately. Same motor, just redesigned specifically for this machine, not just a holdover from the old Victor 4. This machine has a brand new spring. The old one was just incapable of spinning a full record anymore. It's just too weak. We have a new felt under there too, which I don't usually like to do that to a machine if I don't have to, but in this case it was necessary as there were just too many stains. It's oak. It is fumed oak. As you can see, it's a very dark oak finish. It's not golden oak. This is the darker oak finish. It's got a little age on the outside too, which is making it darker yet. Nothing spectacular about the case. It's got a little bit of nibbling around the edges here and there. The typical patina of a machine that's pushing 100 years old. And it's an exceptionally well playing one. It has a rebuilt number 2 Victrola reproducer that came with it. It had the number 2 on it, so either it was a dealer upgrade or this might have been early enough or late enough to have had it from the factory. Alright, let's play a record and see how number 60,394 sounds. As you can see, it spins right up, the hallmark of a very strong new spring. Spins right up to T. You don't have to do this or anything like that to get it going. I already have a new needle on there. Always change the needle for each play of a record. Do not reuse needles. as you see, it plays it very well, despite this being a somewhat worn old record and not even cleaned. I used a record like that on purpose, just to demonstrate the power of the motor. Didn't even slow or hesitate. That's not to say it won't play every badly worn, disgusting record, but it will play most of them, and it definitely played that one very nicely. This motor needed some attention. I had to completely rebuild the governor, which I like to do anyway, because the springs, you never know how much life they really have left in them. And while it's not a pain in the neck to fix if they go, still it's nice to have it done. You know, you don't have to look at it again for at least another 25, 30 years, or maybe in the case of this machine, 80 years, who knows. All the bearings are lubed. The spring, of course, is new and repacked. One of the secrets to getting a decent volume out of one of these machines is to make sure you have an airtight seal from the diaphragm all the way down into the motor. That means you grease here, under there actually, and you make sure you have a good tight seal there. If you do that, you'll get some decent volume out of these machines. In this case, I'm using a loud tone needle also. It's a little bit windy out here. I wanted to make sure that the machine could be heard. Its voice could be heard, rather. And we had to clean up the motor. It was the usual accumulation of thick, old, rock-hard grease on there. You can see, even after it's played a record, it still has plenty of power, and it'll spin the turntable right up. Even though it's been sitting out here with 50-degree temperatures for a couple of hours, the spring hasn't solidified with its grease and lost its power. It's a nice, good, strong spring. I like to use new springs in these single-spring motors. It's just easier than playing spring roulette every time, taking it apart, cleaning it, put it back together, only to find out the spring doesn't have enough juice the strength rather, to spin the turntable fully through one record. And of course, it's always important, if you're going to play records, rebuild the reproducer, or have it rebuilt if you don't know how to do it. Every part to rebuild that reproducer is available. That's the tension springs, the back gasket, the diaphragm gaskets, and the diaphragm itself. All of it's available. It's not that expensive. I think a diaphragm's around $10 or $11. The back gasket's the more expensive gasket. That one's going to be $9 to $11. And it's like $3 for the gaskets on the diaphragm. And the springs, those I believe are $11 for the set. But it makes all the difference in the world. You get a much, much better sound. You know, the needle can track properly in the record, which means it's not turning your records to dust every time it tries to play them. And there are people who will rebuild these for you. You know, it's not that hard to find someone to do that. But in this case, this machine, it's been done. That's all set. It's good for at least another 25, 30 years before the gaskets start to turn hard again, and it'll need to be redone. And that's it. That is Victrola 50 Portable, 1922, number 60,394. And that's it for today.